I want to report that we have had a very successful graduation season. You've probably seen videos and stories. In particular, we had our once every 4-year Molokaʻi commencement, and I'm glad Regent Akitake was able to make it. I was not as lucky with Mokulele as she was, and didn't, after 4 hours at the terminal, gave up on giving a commencement address there, but it's an amazing event, and I'm glad you got to experience it. And successful commencements throughout that, I think, remind all of us of the importance of the work we do, including for those who don't always agree with us. I want to report on a federal law that came to our attention over the past month. It turns out that the Compacts of Free Association, and I think most of you are familiar with those for some of our Pacific neighbors, the freely associated states, the funding for those compacts was included in one of the consolidated budget bills that passed as they headed off the prospective government shutdown in March. And a little notice provision that came to light much later requires that all institutions of higher education that participate in federal financial aid programs, essentially every institution of higher education in the US, is required to charge no more than in-state tuition to all citizens of Palau, Federated States of Micronesia, and the Republic of the Marshall Islands. So this caught us by surprise. Fortunately, although the law passed in March, we received guidance in the last couple of weeks from the Department of Education that it takes effect July 1. We will bring a proposed amendment to our tuition policy. Tuition is set in Board of Regents policy, but we do intend to obviously comply with the law even before then, as we're starting to send out bills now that are due after July 1. And we've started a discussion now among campus leaders about the differential that is created by this law between the tuition charge to citizens of the freely associated states and our other Pacific neighbors, particularly in the US affiliated Pacific Islands. If we only do this, then residents of Guam, Commonwealth of the Northern Marianas, and American Samoa would actually pay higher tuition than Palau, FSM, and RMI. So we want to look at the numbers. We haven't done that yet, as this is pretty new news. So when we come forward to the board for recommendation on board policy, we will be looking at all of those considerations together. Lahainaluna High School, as you know, we received philanthropic support to provide free tuition for every student of the Lahainaluna class of 2024 who are graduating this month. And I can't tell you about the size of the impact without just sharing a couple of numbers. 200, the number of applications is up substantially. We have more than 4 times the number of students from Lahainaluna High School who have announced their intent to enroll at UH this fall as compared to last fall. More than double at Manoa, more than 3 times at Maui College. And I think what this demonstrates to us is the importance of cost and a clear message. If we can find our way to free tuition, we will be in an amazing place, I think. And it's disappointing that our Hawaii Promise extension for our universities, once again, did not succeed. It was supported by the House, but not the Senate this year. So we'll keep working at it. But clear messages about tuition scholarships really do make a difference. I'll just quickly provide a couple of other updates on key numbers that we tend to track. Our FAFSA I've updated you on, so I won't say much. The impacts are, not fully known, but our universities are actively packaging and our community colleges are mostly on track. We're continuing to provide all the support we can to students and their families and email notices. So right now, we're about halfway through registering the number of students we would normally have for a fall semester. At this point, our system-wide headcount and student semester hours are both up in the 5 to 6% range system-wide. So far, knock on wood, we're holding pretty steady with Manoa and the community colleges leading the way. Extramural funding, quickly, we have not just surpassed, but we've really blasted through last year's record numbers. With a month and a half to go, we're at 546 million, which is, more than 10 or 15% above last year. And I want to emphasize, this is not just about money. The benefits of the work we do, everything from Title III grants and water quality research and work on endangered species. But we're also, while doing that work, it creates thousands of high quality jobs across the islands. And lastly, you have a full report on the agenda. So let me congratulate in advance Vice President Dolan. Last week, they crossed the $100 million mark in philanthropy to support scholarships, research, and more across the UH system. And again, more than 10% increase over last year at this time. And he'll share details. It's the fourth year in a row with over $100 million of private investment in the work of our students and our faculty.